All right, seniors, AP Physics 2. Let's talk about whether or not you should take your AP Physics 2 exam this year. I'm going to try to give you as much information as possible so you can make your decision, and I hope it helps you in that regard. Uh, and you may decide not to take it because it doesn't make sense for your major. This is the 1 year you get to make that decision at Brother Rice. Normally it's required, but this is a special year because of the COVID, you know, distance learning. So here's some things to take into account. First of all, you know the exam. I think the timing of it. Here it is on the AP schedule. We are on Wednesday, May 13th. Eastern time is 12 noon. Perfect time slot. So that's a good time to have it. Just be glad you're not in Hawaii taking it at 6 a.m. So the date would be Wednesday, May 13th. And we're in school until Thursday, the 30th. So you guys are required to do all the coursework through Thursday the 30th, which will include some review. So whether or not you choose to take the test, you still are required to do the review work that is assigned through the 30th. And then after that, you can choose to continue to do the review through Friday the 8th. So I'll continue to have review material the following week, Friday the 8th, for those who are going to take the exam and want to continue to review. You're not required to do any of the work after the 30th. That's your last official day. All right. And you won't be graded on this work that's done the week of, I think it's May, let's see, Monday, May 4th through the 8th. You're not required to do that work, but I will have review work available for you if you choose to do it. And you're not going to have, it's not going to affect your grade either way. All right. So, and the review will consist of the review videos provided by the College Board. I know in the modern physics unit, a lot of people weren't that happy with the how the videos presented the material as new material because it was a high overview, pretty conceptual, and a lot of other things included in the videos like review questions and basic skills and things like that. The videos, I think, lend themselves more readily to being reviews as opposed to sources of information for new material like I tried to use them for modern physics. So I think you'll find them a little more useful for topics that you've already covered and you have some knowledge of, like fluids and thermodynamics and some of the electrical material that we're going to review. So I hope you find them a little more useful for that purpose, and I will be assigning free response only questions because, as you'll see in a second, the tests will be only free response questions this year. So I'm going to have free response type questions from the AP Classroom website for review for the next 10 days or so, and then into the next week if you choose to continue with us. Okay, so let's talk specifically about the exam. So this is right off the College Board's website, and let's just go through some of this. You're going to have only 2 questions on this year's AP exam. You're going to have a 25-minute question and a 15-minute question. Normally it's a 3-hour test, and it would have 50 multiple choice questions in the first half and 4 free response questions in the second hour and a half. So the 2-hour-and-a-half portions normally. So you're only doing half of one section. So you're doing basically a quarter of the test this year. But from what I've heard from the College Board, the universities they've talked to are still accepting the AP test for credit. And they cited as an example the University of California system. I don't know specifically about Michigan, Michigan State, our in-state schools, which are the most popular, but I would believe they would accept the credit on these tests the same as they normally would. We'll talk about that in a minute. Back to the test. 2 questions, a 25-minute question, a 15-minute question. You'll download the question and then upload the question once you're done. You'll have 25 minutes once you start the first question to read it and respond, and 5 minutes to upload it. And then after you upload the first question, you'll have 15 minutes to respond to the second question and 5 more minutes to upload that. If you add all that up, it's actually 50 minutes, but you've got 10 minutes of uploading. And they're actually going to give you a practice procedure on how to upload at the end of April, I believe. So you're not going to be doing this for the first time on test day, downloading and uploading, although you guys are all pretty comfortable with that from working at, going to school at Marion and Rice. You have to do that a lot. What types of question are they? There's the qualitative and quantitative translation question. That's probably the most quantitative type question you're going to have on the AP exam. It assesses the student's ability to translate between quantitative and qualitative justification and reasoning. Usually it's a variable type question where you have to derive an expression with a variable and then justify how something's going to change based on a prompt from in the question. So they might add friction, or they might change a resistance or something in a circuit, and ask you how the quantity that you just derived will be affected by that change, and you'll have to justify it using physics principles. So still a lot of writing, okay? And we've been told, the teachers have been told, there won't be any force diagrams, there won't be any graphing. Everything you need to do, you'll be able to do with typing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It sounds like it's very qualitative this year, a lot of reasoning as opposed to any type of actual specific numerical questions, even though this quantitative question should have some type of derivation of a quantity. The second kind of question is a paragraph argument. This is completely conceptual. This is going to be justifying something in a coherent paragraph. So the question type assesses students' ability to create a paragraph length response, coherent argument about a physics phenomena that uses the information presented in the question, proceeds in a logical expository fashion. That means that you walk through the argument step by step and you arrive at a conclusion based on logic that builds on itself through the argument. And we've had a few of those types of questions on our exams over the course of the year. Those are the two types of questions, and that's it on this year's exam. The topics, we've already talked about this in another screencast, are topics 1 through 5. Does not include, by the way, anything with optics. So we were already through our geometric optics, lenses and mirrors unit when this decision was made, and we were partway through our wave unit when this came out. So it doesn't include any optics, and it doesn't include the modern physics. I wanted you to learn a little modern physics because many of you are going into engineering, and it's a good basis to have going into engineering, is to understand what modern physics is. So even though we covered a little bit of that, that will not be on the exam this year. Okay, so now, why would I take it? Why would I not take the exam? This is kind of the summary of the whole thing. Michigan and Michigan State, just to give you two examples with schools that are in state, what they will accept and what they won't accept for AP Physics 1 scores. U of M will only accept AP Physics 1 and 2 for credit if you take both exams and get 5s on both exams. If you got a 4 on AP Physics 1, doesn't matter what you get on your AP Physics 2 exam, it's not going to count for credit at U of M. If you go into engineering, and I should add to that, you'll only get credit with 2 5s if you go into a life science major like pre-med, dental school, biology, something that needs a science credit, that needs the physics class algebra based. Only then can you use your 5s to get credit. If you're going into engineering, you need calculus-based physics. They won't accept even 2 5s at U of M for this. Michigan State, a little more lenient. Michigan State will take a 4 or a 5 on either of the exams. So if you got a 4 on AP Physics 1 and you get a 4 on AP Physics 2 or a 5 on AP Physics 2, you can get credit for a life science major at Michigan State. And they give you the course numbers that you get credit for. So it's definitely worth it if you go to Michigan State and they're going to be a life science major to take the AP Physics 2 exam. If you're going to Michigan or you're going into engineering at either school, you're not going to get credit for the AP Physics 2 exam. That's just the way it goes with the algebra-based physics. So make your decision however you want based on whatever criteria makes sense to you. I'd love you to take the exam, but I certainly understand crazy circumstances this year, and it's not going to disappoint me if you choose not to take it. It's totally your call. You got to do what's right for you. but I think you need to let the school know by the end of the month so that if you want to get your money back or donate it to the school, you need to do that by the end of the month. And I think they will I'm not sure about this, but they might let the college board know. All right, so I hope that helps you make your decision. If you have any questions, please email me and I'd be happy to answer them, or come to our office hours Tuesday, Thursday on the Meet Me line. It's posted on our Schoology page. Okay, take care, guys. Stay safe. Stay close to home.